Okay, today we're gonna warm up today with one of my favorites, um, comic book heroes. Even though I don't read too many comic books, we're gonna warm up with the Captain America for today. So let's get into this and see how this is gonna turn out for today. Cat has that that long heroic look on him. Okay, he has that heroic, he has a heroic look on him, always looking smooth. And what we're gonna do is put the shield over here. Okay, short sleeve. Jelly belt. Okay, okay, I think here, chest, star on his chest. Have the star. Okay, we can put see the mask on him. Okay, the gloves, short arm. Okay, let's give him the heroic, thick, high cheekbones, the real square thing, real square. Okay, let's see. Let's give him a funky A. Okay, see, he has feathers on his side. Let's make them real long feathers. Okay, make him the classic square mouth, just a little hint of a grin. Okay, on to that. Okay, way out there, way out here, here, here. Okay, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it of Captain America. And so he has the partly suit, flag on his chest. Okay. Okay. Now, Rex. That's up there. Yeah, I'm not really the comic book superhero type. I'm more like a Will Eisner. Um, and then I'll switch out my pencil. Go to a more sharpened pencil. Start putting the lines that I want. Okay, there. Put in the shade a little bit more. Okay. Let's change that up some. 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 Even though it's a warm up, let's at least try to get it halfway right. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. Now let's go in with okay. Now let's usually I ink with I like these brushes. I love these. I love these. Ink with these sometimes. Sometimes I ink with these, but that's when I'm practicing. But some days I gotta get away from it because I get into a habit of not paying attention. So I go back and ink with I buy these brushes. These brushes are cheap, good brushes, because they call Princeton. It's like $2-3 maybe a brush. So this is what it looks like now. My version of Cap. My version of Captain America. Now let's go in here and do some inking. Sometimes before I start, I get the brush all nice and wet, dip it in the ink, and I do a couple of exercises, a couple of warm-ups. Like I may do some lines, some thin lines. Some thin lines here. Then I try to get super thin. The best way I say to really get good at inking is pretty much to take your time. Don't try to rush it. Take your time and always keep your hand moving. Always keep your hand moving. And then I may go in and do some feathering. Feathering is one of those tricky kind of inking things. Because you got to flick, 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 flick. Especially if you're feathering something long. And then I may do another exercise then I may do another exercise. What I might do is then I do like a thin to fat or a thin line to a fat line or a fat line to a thin line. That just comes from the raising up and down. It comes from the raising up and down of your hand or the pressure on your brush. Thin line to a fat line. And then I may do it reverse backwards. Fat line, a heavy line to a light line. And then I may do some cross hatching. Basic cross hatching. Something like that to get you warm, to get you warmed up, and get you warmed up to ink. But inking is something that you have to do pretty much every day, just to get I say a good hand and eye control. Now I have a lot of people ask me, can I ink digitally? I can, but I'm old school. I like to feel the paper up under my hands and all that. So let's ink this Captain America. See what he gonna come out as. See what he gonna come out as here. Okay. We're gonna start with the face. Sometimes it's best to ink from top to bottom or left to right or just ink however you feel. But always try to make sure that when you put the ink down, it is going to be wet. So you got to be mindful of where you put your hands. Some people ink with a piece of paper over it so their hand won't smear the ink. They ink with the glove on. But at the end of the day, you still have to be mindful. So I always ink away from me. At the same time, turning the page to get a better understanding, to get my lines. And sometimes, see, I turn the page so I don't stick my hand inside of it. I'll make just like a thick line in the back of his head. Heavy line up underneath. Going to. I can tell you one of the best advice I got from a person of everybody probably know him, Don Hillsman, is I was inking a Hawk piece and he critiqued it. If you want your work critiqued, always go to Don Hill because he's going to tell you the truth. He's going to be honest with you, but he's going to tell you the truth. He told me my inking was okay. He understand what I was doing, but he said, slow down, take your time, and you will see that your inking will get better. And that was like one of the best advice I have gotten in a long time. Because I'm sitting there trying to ink, speed through these inks, and he was like, "No, just take your time, slow down, take your time, understand your light source." understand your light source, and pretty much just take your time while you're inking. Just take your time when you ink. Just take your time. Don't try to rush it. And at the same time, always keep that hand moving. Always keep your hand moving. Always keep your ink with your arm, not with your wrist. You know, there isn't really no rules to inking. I just say ink on how you feel that's comfortable to you. There's tons of good inks out there you can follow. And I'm just, and see how they do stuff. But I'm a true believer. If you and it's just me. I'm not trying to harp on nobody. But I think when you sit here and you follow and you try to copy other people's work, you learn stuff, but you don't become yourself. So, at the time when I was really getting into comics, at that time, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, all those guys was out. And everybody at that time was trying to draw like a Todd McFarlane, Mark Silvestre, and all them guys. Okay, that make his elbow thick bone right there. Thick up on his back of his arm. There. We're gonna spin around a little bit here, and then we're gonna bring all this down. Bring all this down here. See, I shouldn't be doing that because now I'm putting my hand on my ink, so gotta return it back the other way. Let's make it a real muscular back. A real muscular back. Muscular back. You know what, Kevin? Inking is relaxing, but I think it's when you have people who ink digitally versus a person who ink as the new term brick and mortar. I think it's you're right. It's the confidence level. Um, I know if I'm inking on my digital tablet, if I mess up, I know I can just start all over again, and they will be great. But when I'm inking this way, my confidence level has to be totally different because I know once I put that line down, it has to be down. It has to be down. I ink with pens too. I ink with pens too. But I like inking with a brush because to me it's faster. It's faster. But I use my pen sometimes for the fine cross hatching. Like I use the Micron sometimes. Micron's 1. I may use a Micron 2, Micron number 2. And a lot of times, if I got like big areas to cover, I'm going with the Magnum. Yeah, D markers are great. D markers are real great. The big magnums to cover dark areas, cover your dark areas. Now, after you pretty much get your outline done, then I may go back in with. Me too. You know, I like doing a lot of stuff traditionally too. I'm old school. You know, yesterday was my birthday. I'm the big 51. Um, but yes, I like doing stuff the old school way. You're right. Me too. Me too. I like to have something I can hold. You know what, Kevin? You're right. You're right, Kevin. A lot of times when I like the old school because I like touching the paper. I like touching the paper. I like feeling it, turning it. Don't get me wrong. You can do the same thing with your tablet. Are you? All right. Got somebody else who got another person in here who knows what I'm talking about. You know, well, you know, Kevin. Back in the day, our stuff was Conan. Uh, uh, you know, it just different. It just different. It just different. The technology today makes it more easier for comic book artists to produce work faster. But I still think the old way gives you a better confidence in yourself. Now, what I do is I go back. I may use this here. Okay, now I go back in with my. Now I go back in with one of these brushes. That way I ain't got to dip no more. And I start blocking I start blocking in my figure like maybe up under his neck. The shadows up under his neck. Shadow up under his neck. The muscles the muscles in his neck. You know. See, like that. And then I got to figure out, pretty much how my light source is going to go. So I may come in and do a heavy line, heavy line, heavy line, heavy line. Remember now, there's three heads on this, on the shoulders. Like I said, just take your time. Just take your time. Just take your time. Just don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't rush. Just take your time. Just take your time. Just take your time. And other times you will see that you doing all right. I keep turning the page because I love the way the page feels. Okay, you got forearms are sometimes tricky because those things have so many muscles coming into the forearm. Sometimes it kind of gets. Excuse me. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. Now let's go in and start putting together this suit right quick. There. There. Yeah, there we go. Now he's beginning to have get that cap look to him. Okay, now let's add some. Gotta do top of his shoulders. There. Yeah. Okay. Top of his shoulders. And put his back on. And his back nice, then line his back. Yeah. Okay, and after I do that, then I will. After I pretty much block in my figure, then I will go back in and start doing the real fine work, like my cross hatching. But at the same time, you got the ink is one of the things you got to feel comfortable with. And that may always keep turning the page, always turning the page, always turning my page so I can get a better look at what I'm doing or the design or how it's coming out. Take your time. Sometimes I speed up and I get sloppy. And I have to remind myself to slow down. Like I said, inking is not a rush. Inking is not a rush process. Just take your time. Because when you rush inking, then that's when you mess up. This is pretty much how I do his neck. Okay, then I go back in, then I'll start adding more lines and details. You know, my pen is getting dry. Flick, 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 flick. Around. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Put in his muscle ripping sleeve. Ain't that there? Okay, let's start adding some more detail to the muscles. Whew. Yes, 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 yes. It's coming along slowly, coming along slowly, coming along slowly, coming along slowly. Okay, okay. Now, a lot of times when I'm inking, I kind of stop and I look at it and I kind of get a feel like, okay, what can we do to really bring this out here? Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change his back. We're gonna change his back. We're gonna bring more black behind his back because that's a spot you really can't see on his body. can't see on his body. And as I said again, I keep turning my page. I keep flipping my artwork so I can see it from different positions and different angles. Different positions, different angles. Okay. Let's go in here and start adding detail to his forearm. Glove, his glove. You know, Cap got the glove. Okay. Now we start going in here, start adding details. Start cross hatching. Remember, always take your time. Always take your time. Inking is not a rush process. Sometimes I get sloppy because I'm rushing, and I have to remind myself to slow down. Keep turning the page. See how you want your lines to look. Turn the page again. Take your time with your lines. There we go. There we go. Cap is beginning to look like something now, just a little bit. Okay. Let's add some cross-hatching line back here. Okay. Now let's go in here and start putting detail in his knuckles and his gloves. And like I said, remember, always be taking your time. Inking is not a rush. It's not a rush deal. It's like everything. You have to, even if you're a penciler, you still have to take your time. Plan your your escape route for when you're doing comic book pages, when you're inking. That way you won't get stuck or draw yourself into a corner. Like some people do thumbnails, some people don't do thumbnails. I don't know. It all depends. It depends with me. One minute I may do thumbnails, one minute I may not. All depends on how I wake up on the side of the bed that morning. Okay, see, and that's how he looks now. Okay, now let's go in and round his chest out a little bit. Wow, okay, now let's go in and play with his face. Let's see what we're gonna do with his face. What we're gonna do with his face. face. So we can get from his face. Okay. Star. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yes. Okay, let's get into his face. 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 Let's get into his face so we can really start getting some details into him. Okay. Okay, now let's go in on the face. Let's go back in and use the famous big brush. So I ain't got it. You know what? Let's stick with the famous little bitty Princeton. And like I said, you can get these Princeton brushes pretty cheap. They're actually not bad brushes. They're actually not bad brushes. Okay, let's go in and put in, let's do his mask. Okay, nice thin line. Yeah. I say take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time. Here. Give me an old mix. Captain America look. Yeah. Okay, we're going to add a line under his cheek. Here. Right back when we started, you fucking idiot. Let's go ahead and get him a striking cheekbone. Dry brush. Dry brush. Okay, let's Let's go in and really make his cheek bold. Really give him a bold, a really bold, really bold cheek line. Remember, think about the human skull up underneath. Head. Really bold cheek line here. Okay, let's go ahead and start putting his mask in. Start putting his mask in. There. Like I said, I keep turning the page. I keep flipping my paper so I can get a better understanding. Look at my lights, my darks. My lights, my darks. Things turning out. Come back with my pen. My famous number one, my number two. Let's go to number one. Number one is good. But number one is a bit finer. I said, take your time, take your time. Going like that crazy fancy A that I just happened to just put on top of the head. It's a mixture of the A from the A back in the olden days. Okay. Let's go in now and put some detail in this. Put some detail in his. Because you know he has the detail in his suit. He has like beads or some kind of his suit is textured. So let's go in and add some texture to him. It's a couple of dots. You know what? Too small. Let's go something a bit bigger. So there we go. And there. Hey, son.
Here's the look. It's probably trash.
Okay.
What's this?
This is This is Got the name of that thing, man. Got the name of it.
Oh, that's Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it was supposed to be.
Fred's gonna be around.
Most expensive stand-up in the history of motion picture marketing. On. Let's see here. Late turn. Mama, what's this? Games numbers. Oh, costume.
You're taking a lot of shit. I put up the high prices, your lousy selection, and your rude phone calls.
Sorry.
I just want to tell you one thing.
What?
I will never, ever rentage from the store again, you slutty little... Bitch, when I started, motherfucker. No, please don't go. Let's go, motherfucker. Let's work.
Mm.
Where's the girl? I let her go. Let that bitch go. I can't believe how fucking stupid you are, man. Oh, she ain't no bitch, man. Oh, she's not a bitch. I said you. Shit, come on. She tricked you. Just another hoe manipulate your sorry ass to get what you want. What the fuck you talking about, man? That's not true. You never learned. Ain't gonna touch you nothing. She don't like you. Hell, and I don't fucking like you. about my vote? I lied. You ain't getting shit. Hey, Cisco, you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Go ahead and start working on this. Well, I'm about warmed up now, so this is Captain America, whatever. How I do it. But now on to some comic book pages. Can't be spending all the time on this. Got a deadline to meet for myself. So we'll be back. This is called Warm Up. See you next time.